Welcome back to another quick review. I'm sorry if I sound tired. It is 10 p.m. at night as I'm recording this. But today we're talking about Life is Strange Reunion, the supposed finale of the Life is Strange series, and I'll get to that supposed part later. Um, Game came out Thursday. It is Saturday night. I finished it about 5 hours ago, so I like to think I've had some time to process everything. And honestly, my thoughts of this game halfway through didn't really change at the end. Um, so yeah. For context, I come into this as somebody who's played all the Life is Strange games, um, and enjoy Double Exposure. I know people don't like that game, and I understand why. I completely understand why, because that game is a ton of BS. The game is a load of BS, but I still really enjoy when I play a Double Exposure. When I played a Double Exposure, granted, it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years since I last played it, but I um really enjoyed it. So I came into a reunion thinking, um, you know, I didn't hate Double Exposure as much as other people did. I really enjoyed myself with it. So surely Reunion, uh, if they improve on the things that or the issues that Double Exposure has, because it does have its issues, surely it's better, and it is. It's so much better than Double Exposure was. Like I said, I like Double Exposure. I think it's the worst game of the series. I really do. Um, One of the things that I was skeptical about going into this game was obviously the whole plot, the whole purpose of the game, and that's Chloe and bringing Chloe back. I was one of the people who had Chloe dead at the end of their original Life is Strange playthrough, just because for me and for Max, the character, the choices that I made, it made the most sense. Um, but yeah, and so bring for me at least bringing Chloe back was weird, and I think they handled it well, using the plot threads, the plot points that were uh slayed, that were set in that are planted in Double Exposure and bringing it over into Reunion. I think that worked out really well, and I think that's one of the things that I really liked about this game. It does what God One of the things it does really well is taking the plot threads, the plot points planted from Double Exposure, and executes them or uses them in Reunion. It doesn't just forget about them, and that's really nice. That's really good. I'm really glad they did that. The overall mystery of the game regarding the fire and Abraxas is fun. It gets shockingly dark at some point. It gets shockingly dark, but it is fun to see kind of that mystery come together. I always love Max as a protagonist. Max Caulfield is a favorite of mine protagonist wise, just because I see so much of myself in that character, that artsy kind of quiet kid, but also is kind of like weird in a lot of ways. Um, so I see myself a lot in Max as a character. She's great. I think it's Hannah Tell who voices her. She's phenomenal. And Chloe being back is such a breath of fresh air. I say breath of fresh air as if she hasn't been in games before, but it's like seeing adult Chloe or older Chloe just, as like being a little bit more level headed post, Life is Strange Before the Storm is so nice. Her voice actress, I can't remember who her name is. She kills it. She's great. Um, and just those two performances carry the game. If those performances aren't good, the game isn't as good. And I'm really glad that they're great. There are some lines in there that are you know cringe, as Life is Strange is, but overall I think it works. If I want to dive into the negatives, and there's a couple, but I think there's like a couple, like tiny negatives about the game. It's optimized horribly. There are some times where the game just kind of like graphical bugs, or just little bugs around there, or just with things with the character models that just don't, that straight up just don't look good. It's weird. It's the same thing with Double Exposure, but especially so in this game. It's just a weird looking game at times, and I don't think the soundtrack is, at the very least, the soundtrack used from the songs and whatnot are as good as in previous games. That's just me. Um, and then the last two big things I really want to talk about. First thing is trying to decide which one I'll talk about first. Let me talk about Safi for a hot second. Safi is a weird character that I feel like we could have done without, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because the way they set her up at the end of Double Exposure has her be like, either the Nick Fury or the Magneto of Life is Strange world, and they just kind of abandon that. They just don't really do that. It's weird, or rather if they do it, it's not executed well. I'm not the biggest fan of Safi. I think this game could have worked without her. Um, as it being the finale and whatnot. I guess I understand she had to be there. And once again, I'll get to that. But I think the game could have been Safi-less, and it would have been fine. The other thing, gameplay is still not great. Double Exposure had this issue, and this game has this issue where actually playing the game isn't the greatest thing in the world. Obviously, it's a Life is Strange game, so it's not going to be, out of this world gameplay. You're not there for that kind of gameplay, but it's still not as fun to play as previous titles. So that leads us to the end of the game and the finale, and one the worst part about this game is that it doesn't feel like a finale or the finale that they were advertising. It feels like they could go they could still go places. There's things that they could still do. And the fact that they're advertising it as a finale is weird because Life is Strange always kind of felt like an anthology series. Every game up until Double Exposure had a different protagonist in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not sure why they advertise it as a finale, as well as there's still plot points there that, aren't really answered or are left open to interpretation in a way that I don't think a finale should probably do. Finale shouldn't really do that, but yeah. And I think that's my biggest issue with the game is that the finale doesn't really feel like a finale. If you get my drift, but yeah, ultimately, Life is Strange Reunion is a good game. It's a great game, and I give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed my time with it, despite my issues. The positives are mad positive. It is way better than Double Exposure. I gave that game an 8, and that game has definitely gotten worse with time. That I gave that game an 8. It's probably like a 7 now. But yeah, I would highly recommend playing it. It's really good. It's a great game, and I think it's a good Life is Strange sequel. Is it my favorite game? No, it's still probably the first one. It's still my favorite, but ultimately, I think this game is really good. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye.